It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat or anything in between. The clip I'm about to show you should concern you. It should piss you off. Let's watch.
Tonight, as tanks roll towards Washington to prepare for President Trump's military parade, the president with this warning to anyone who might show up to protest.
If there's any protester who wants to come out, they will be met with very big force. By the way, for those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force.
It comes just days ahead of another show of military might, with a massive parade marking the Army's 250th anniversary set for Saturday in the nation's capital. It is also President Trump's 79th birthday.
We're going to be celebrating big on Saturday.
The president threatening anyone who plans to protest the parade, making no distinction between peaceful demonstrations protected by the First Amendment and violence.
For those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force.
Excuse me? Did you just say that anyone who protests is going to be met with force? Trump's fragile ego cannot fathom the idea of nationwide protests happening on his birthday. He literally just said if there's any protests, they will be met with force, likely in a way similar to what Los Angeles just experienced. Los Angeles has the California National Guard and 700 active duty Marines who Trump summoned to stop the protests in Los Angeles. Yes, there was some violence, and yes, there were a few riots, but 99% of what was happening were peaceful protests, and Trump wanted to put an end to that. But like he mentioned, he said protests, not riots, will be stopped or met with full force. He didn't draw a distinction between protests or riots. Anyone who opposes him on his birthday, anyone who comes out and protests him in any fashion. Can you imagine just for a second? Imagine if Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, if Joe Biden had said this, had threatened force on peaceful protesters. If either of them had threatened this or said this, they would have been impeached and removed from office immediately.
Some Republicans now pushing back on his parade plans.
We were always different than the images you saw of the Soviet Union and North Korea. I wouldn't spend the money if it were me.
Important to note here that this big military celebration that Trump is putting on for his birthday is estimated to cost the U.S. taxpayer $45 million. Trump noticed that dictators and authoritarians around the world put on big military parades. Russia does it. North Korea does it. And those have two dictators that Trump looks up to. Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin. He looks up to these guys. He's actually jealous of them. He's envious of these people. He is envious of these dictators because he wants to be one.
About the money, military officials tell NBC News that this parade is expected to cost about $45 million to produce, including $16 million earmarked to repair damage that's expected to DC's streets afterwards.
Okay, I want anyone who's watching this to go to these protests on June 14th. These nationwide protests. There's probably one in your city. Just look it up. Thousands of protests going on nationwide. Go to the protests at your state's capital. Show up, make your voice heard that you don't want a dictator running this country. Trump has been giving a middle finger to the First Amendment his entire presidency. I've made several videos on specific examples why I believe this to be the case. You can go check that out if you want. But this is one of the most heinous examples of it. Threatening protesters with force. And it's just convenient that it's a military celebration with military service people there, military vehicles and tanks and weapons. Who knows what would happen to those protesters? I urge you to go to your state's capital and protest on June 14th. The bigger the crowds, the more coverage it gets on TV, and that's exactly what this needs. These protests need more media coverage, and you could play a big part in that if you showed up. I'm going to be at my state capital in Michigan. I'll be in Lansing on June 14th. I don't know if there's any Michiganders who are watching this, but if so, come meet me at the Capitol on June 14th. Would love to talk to people, would love to talk about the issues and just, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you again here soon. So peace out.